All right, we got an interesting one for you today. The Chargers are having a reunion with a player. We're going to talk about that. And did they just find a starter? And then we're also going to talk about, will there be another reunion that is coming with one of the players that we just let go? Hey, if you're new to this channel, absolutely want to have you subscribe. Just do. We started this channel a little over a month ago. It's been an absolute blast growing with the Chargers. We have another channel, Sports Talk Detroit. We are from Michigan. Looks like I got a little something there. All right, we're from Michigan, but because of that, we love U of M. We love Harbaugh. We followed them over with the Powder Blues. They're beautiful. Powder Blues and Honolulu Blues, all right? The most beautiful uniforms in sports. So let's get to the two things that we're going to talk about, and you're going to want to hang around for the second one because there's some smoke. There is some smoke with a return of one of the players you just let go. All right, but before we get into that, the Chargers and Denzel Perryman, you might remember him. He was on your team just a couple of years ago. Have agreed on a 1-year, $3 million deal per source, back to where it started. Okay, and not quite back to where it started, but it is back to where it started. And when I say he played for you a couple years ago, honestly, what I mean is he played for you, what would it be? 3 years ago. So the last 3 years, last year he was at Houston. The 2 years before that, he was with Vegas. When he was with the Chargers, he was not a full-time player. All right. He would come in and he would play I would say 40 to 50% of the snaps, which isn't bad. And I would actually expect him to have a very similar role coming back to the Chargers, especially at that price point. I don't think that's a bad thing. When he went to the Raiders in 2021, his last year with the Chargers was also his best year in 2020. Then he went back he went to the Raiders and he had a couple of good years as a full-time starter there. And then last year in Houston, he had a decent year as a full-time starter. But here's the thing about him. He struggled mightily in coverage. And part of that is maybe he just didn't fit in the system that was being run there. Part of it might be the fact that he's 31 years old. I'm not sure exactly what it is. He's never been the fastest player in the world. But he's a good run defender. He has a lot of experience in the league. And this is honestly a good fit with a good quality veteran player. So maybe, just maybe, the Chargers found a starter. Maybe. Or they just found a guy that can help this extremely young linebacking core. All right, you have Nick Nyman, who's entering his 4th year, has played well. I like him. I think he's a good player. All right, out of Iowa. All right, and then you have Daiyan Henley. If Daiyan Henley isn't quite ready, you can have Perriman in there, and I think what you look at with that is Henley is going to be in for more of the passing downs, Perriman for more of the running downs, but we'll see kind of what that looks like. It's kind of saying, all right, we'll find a way to put this together. But with the scheme that Jesse Minter has, with the scheme that's similar to the one Mike McDonald runs, with the Chargers. I said Chargers. With the Seahawks now. He was with the Ravens the last couple years. This is a system that overall is pretty linebacker friendly. So a lot of good linebackers have come out of this, and there were some linebackers getting paid that are in Baltimore. Now, needless to say, they're very talented. All right, they were very, very talented linebackers, but nonetheless, it's there. Okay, let's talk about the next thing that I wanted to talk to you about. I teased it for you, so I've got to talk about it. All right, and that is the interesting future about Mike Williams. Now, he's a guy that, yes, he's the often injured Mike Williams, and you released him to save $20 million on your cap. And originally it didn't seem possible to bring him back because you were cap strapped, but now you've just freed up a ton of money by letting go of Keenan Allen, by trading him to the Bears for a 4th-round pick. And can I just take a second here? Because you have to understand, we're in the NFC North, and anytime I have the opportunity to make fun of the Bears, I want to. That was a good get for a 4th-rounder, but trading away Fields for a 6th or possibly a conditional 4th, Ugh. Like, that's really, really bad. All right, so is there anything here? This article goes on to talk about he's coming off a torn ACL. We know that. All right, he was an obvious cut candidate. But we know he's number 80. There's another guy, Hayden Hurst, that you signed, which, by the way, Chris talked about the signing. Really good signing with Hayden Hurst. Like, now you're sitting here and you have your pass-catching threat at tight end, and you kind of have a two-horse race at tight end where you have your pass catcher and your run blocker. But Hayden Hurst, if I'm not mistaken, usually wears number 80. He posted on his Instagram that he will be number 88. You see it right here. So he posted that he's going to be number 88. All right, he's worn number 81 for most of his career. I don't know why I said 80. Mike Williams was 81 as well. All right, so why wouldn't he wear 81? And it adds some smoke to the fire that Mike Williams just might come back for another go-round with the Chargers. So here's my question to all of you still watching this video. Do you want Big Mike Williams back? All right, obviously him and Herbert have a good rapport. If you're going to draft a young wide receiver in the draft, he would be fantastic to have around to kind of help them understand just what goes on in the NFL, what it takes to be a good pro, because Mike Williams has been able to do that, even though his body kind of is giving up on him. So would you want him back? And if you do want him back, what's that price tag that you want him back for? I'm thinking 10, 12, 2 years at 25. I don't know. Like, what is that? But most of the guaranteed money in year one, like, what does that look like for you? Because we have to understand that the Chargers do have some room in the cap now because of all the moves that they've done. I don't know exactly where they're at. I don't. All right, because all the numbers are still kind of all over the place. All right, but if you look here at over the cap, they are going, I'll zoom in for you here. It's saying right now that the team is sitting at $28 million left. They have a ton of money. All right, so they've gone from not having any money to having a bunch of money to having guys who have restructured, and okay, now we're good to go. And they're going to have money next year too. So, yeah, Mike Williams might not be a bad grab here, and you have to be wondering, what in the world are they doing with their wide receiving position? All right, their wide receivers right now on the team are Josh Palmer, Simi Fehoko. Yeah, that's right. Played 23 snaps last year. Quentin Johnston. All right, let's see what he's got. Let's give him a chance. All right, Darius Davis, which speedster, really excited to see what he can do. Really excited, honestly, to see what he can do. And when he's going, and then Keelan Doss. So a lot of guys that are very unproven. Darius Davis is fun, but he's never going to be like that consistent wide receiver. He's more of a fun, gadget, quick guy at 165 pounds. He'll get killed. So they need to do something in this wide receiver room, and I think bringing a guy back like Mike Williams would be good. But here's the truth, and I'll make a video on this tomorrow. It is time for the Chargers to make a big move. It's time for them to make some noise, and hopefully they will. All right, thanks for watching. Hope you like it. Like, subscribe. See you on the next one.